Yeah, but so I don't want to take too much of your time, but I think like I'm a pretty like high value man. Like I have a
No.
good.
The other day I was at a sneaker store. And the kid working there, the sales associate guy, was some 8 out of 10 pretty boy. Like a legit good blend of neo-tennis features and masculine features. Compact mid-face, youthful baby face, but also a good jawline. Good hair, good eye area and stuff. He was like a 7 or an 8 out of 10 facially. He wasn't tall about my height, but very solid face. 7.5 or an 8. And just from the way he was smiling when he was talking to me, just from his manners, I could tell that he was genuinely happy about his life. It wasn't a fake expression that he puts on for customers. He probably got some action that morning, only a few hours ago. I can tell when it is just a courteous smile. And when it is a smile and facial expression stemming from genuine happiness, I couldn't help but feel an immense sense of jealousy right there and then. I wanted to be like, dude, wipe that smile off your face. You're annoying, but of course, you can't say that. Manners don't allow that. Bro, I don't like people that are too happy and positive. With his looks, that genuine naivety and the life energy he had in him, he had his whole life ahead of him. And you could tell he was aware of this too. He was happy. Something I don't even remember when was the last time I felt like that. A life full of opportunities. A life full of positive experiences and potential. A life to look forward to. A life worth living. He was clearly younger than me too, like 18-year-old, 19-year-old, just some kid. And as a sub-5 man, I feel like one of the most brutal and saddest thing is time, age aspect of life, the window of opportunity. You gotta accomplish certain stuff during certain time periods, or it is simply too late. Opportunity in life is something that has a short shelf time. Because even if you improve your looks, you try to improve your career or whatever, one thing you cannot take back is your youth. Time is that one element of life that you can't rewind or trade for. Yes, you can still achieve some things, of course, some certain milestones or goals or whatever, but will it have the same effect? Will it have the same impact on your life?
If you slow down and say that it's okay to play 1 hour of video games, the guy who's men is trying to your future wife.
Grind, work, only so you can box for your so-called future wife, right? When she was already doing the deed, when you were grinding your life away. That is why I feel bad for those guys in Hamza's Discord server. I'm not gonna show their faces, their pictures. I am not interested in clowning anybody in particular, like those dudes who follow Hamza's advice. Or if you play 1 hour of video games until you are 30 years old, your future wife is gonna marry someone else. And he's fixated on that line. He loves that line. That, oh bro, you are winning right now. But if you play 1 hour of video game, it is over. He thinks it is such a deep and motivating line. Oh bro, your woman, your future wife is out there right now. But if you choose to play video games, even for 1 hour, she's not gonna be yours. He's obsessed with it. He thinks it is such a deep and motivating line. Brother, she's already doing the deed when your victims are grinding their lives away. She's already getting tossed around as we speak right now, even if they manage to get married to her later in life. Guys, this guy, Hamza, is creating a generation of beta box deluxe man. Oh, the grind set. If you play 1 hour of video games every day, your wife is gonna get by other men. Brother, that is already happening while your victims are grinding their lives away. By that time, the future wife is gonna be jaded and bitter anyway. She will have had her fun while you were grinding. You were improving,
Tristan, back down. Have I ever said I need a day where I just need a day off? You ever heard me say I need a day off? No. Ever. I'm training in the gym in between sets. It's like I work all the time.
Even though, yes, you can marry her when she's done. If you grind your life away to be able to box for her after she had her fun, yes, that so-called future wife will marry you. But the only place Hamza viewers will end up is those divorce courts and dead bedrooms. That is keeping it real, man. This guy Hamza is creating legions, guys, legions of Beta Box Deluxe divorce court defendants. A generation of divorce court defendants. If you are some law student specializing in civil law, Hamza is making you so much money. He literally runs those viewers' pockets, those oofy doofy viewers' pockets, actively and also inactively. Now, also in the future. He's doing it actively today by charging his victims 600, 700 a month, but also indirectly by setting them on a path of grind, work, you know, the grind set. Bro, there's no grind set for your face. Oh bro, you are gonna grind, you are gonna improve every day, or else you won't be able to box for her when she had her fun and wanna settle for financial security. Bro, like, the jig is up. Guys, Hamza is actively destroying those people, those oofy doofies. 200 IQ. No matter how much I talk against oofy doofies, against Beta Box Deluxe man, I am not doing as much damage as Hamza does. I can talk against oofy doofies, against Beta Box Deluxe man all I want. But what he is doing is actively putting them in dirt, destroying them from the inside. Grind, work, or else if you play video games, even for 1 hour, your future wife, who's getting passed around like a fat J while we speak, while Hamza viewers grind their life away, she won't marry you. Brother, by the time you grind your life away, it will be already too late. Sometimes in life you are just too late to something. There's a place we all wanna be in life, but when you arrive, will the place be the same? Sometimes the damage is done in life, man. You can looks max, maybe get to a certain looks level, but you will still have that bitterness in you. You will always remember how you were treated before. You will have that jaded feeling inside you. Like, for example, if I had traded looks with that kid at the store all of a sudden, right? Poof, we traded looks. I would still have that corner of darkness calling for me. That is what happens when you are too late to something, to that place. Sure, I would feed my ego, go bang a different smoke show, different cutie every day, get my ass kissed everywhere I go. But like, I wouldn't be able to turn into him mentally. Wouldn't have that genuine enthusiasm and naivety about life. And the kid who would have to live with my looks, he would slowly fade into depression. Inevitably. It is inevitable. He would be like, dude, I don't get it. Like, I am trying my best. I am still the same guy. I am doing the same stuff. I am smiling. I am happy. I am positive. It just doesn't work. I am, you know, taking care of myself. I am single-digit body fat. It isn't the same. But slowly, surely, he would drift into depression. It is inevitable, guys. He would slowly turn into me. I wouldn't be able to turn into him, but he would turn into me in that scenario. And that is if he's lucky, if he's strong enough. The other timeline for him would be 6 feet underground, fall into a pit of depression, zap his brain with zillions of antidepressants, and end up 6 feet underground, which you can call the better timeline.
What were you doing, petty crimes?
Grew up going to church my whole life.
Keep grinding, keep hustling.
Sometimes you just gotta bitch out, you gotta bitch out, you know.
Anything is possible.
There isn't always a solution to a problem.
Never give up.
Just give up and accept being defeated.
God's got a plan for you.
Hail Satan all day. Hail Satan, you know.
You can't trade looks or money for time. That dark corner in your soul will always be there, calling for you. No matter how much you try to change, no matter how much you try to make up for those so-called lost years. Lost years, I fear, is something you can't undo. Lost years is kinda self-explanatory, bro. They are lost. Guys, understand this. You can't improve one aspect of your life, have success in one area of life to make up for your failure in another. Life doesn't work like that. At best, you gotta minimize the damage and move on to the next. But no matter how much you try to change, the past doesn't really leave you alone. That is partly why I envied him, that kid at the store, so much. Like, it wasn't necessarily about his looks only that made me feel sad, but it was this genuine enthusiasm and positive look he had on life. And I could tell, man, I could tell. He had that look. He wasn't like me. He probably believes in karma. You know, he thinks the reason he gets treated well is because he puts out positive energy to the universe. My sister believes that, bro. He told me, oh, bro, Rehab, you are too negative. Just give positive energy to the universe and the universe shall give you the same. Like, people like my sister and him, they don't get it, man. If I told him, if I were friends with him, he would have told me, oh bro, Rehab, never think like that about yourself. No human is superior to another just because of their looks. People like them don't understand us. They genuinely believe that it is all about putting out positive energy to the universe. It was this genuine enthusiasm and potential he had. That fact was what got me sad. And there's nothing I can do about it, guys. Nothing to offset that, somehow equalize that. Just think about the situation for a minute, guys. Just think about it. He's just some minimum wage retail worker, right? But in his mind, on a subconscious level, not conscious level, but on a subconscious level, he knows that he is superior to me. Even though he would act shocked if you told him that. Oh, Mr. Rehab, this is very unhealthy. This is a very unhealthy way to think about yourself. No human value is measured by looks. All humans carry equal value. 1000% he would have told you something like this. Even if I work harder and manage to, get a better salary, more prestigious job title, the only thing that is gonna change is maybe a nicer house, a bigger investment account. But I am gonna be doing exactly the same thing. I am gonna be feeling exactly the same way. That feeling is never gonna go. I don't believe it will. And I know this for a fact because it hasn't changed for me since my college days. Back when I was surviving on only a couple $100, I am feeling exactly the same way today, to this very day. Guys, money cannot fill the hole in your soul. I know it sounds cliche. It is cliche, but it is true. Money is very important, but not the most important. Looks and time, bro. They will always be more important than money. I could find the cure to cancer and AIDS, and everything would still stay the same on a core level. Society, sure, they would give me a better house, better car, but to life, and by life I mean the fabrics of society, the structure, the hierarchy. To life, he has more innate value, and he can feel it too, even if he doesn't admit it. That is why he was so happy and cool, despite working a low-status job. For him, life is just endless opportunities. Something to look forward to. It is the opposite for me. Sleeping, closing my eyes is what I look forward to. Life has been a grind, man. A brutal grind at that. I told my mom this when I was mad one time. She was bickering about, oh, all the other kids your age are progressing in life. Oh, that old friend of yours is getting married. Oh, that kid you went to school with started working at a very big company. Like, at that point, I couldn't help but keep it 100%. I told her, man, the feeling is mutual. You are not happy with me and I am not happy with you. You talk like I thank to God every day for being born into this family. I am not. What are you talking about? If I had to choose, if I was given the option to pick a family, you guys wouldn't even be in the list of 1,000 families. 1,000, bro. I would rather not be born. If God has shown me, look, man, this is the family, this is the life we are gonna give to you, I would be like, nah, man, I'm out. Send someone else. Send the other poor soul.
I urge everyone to step it up and give. It's a time to help. We all need help sometimes. And if you could meet these kids.
If I had a family and times got hard, I would just walk out on them. Fuck them.
I had to tell her this, guys. Even though I didn't want to, I had to. The way my parents talk is actually crazy. Oh, the sacrifices. This sacrifice thing they love to bring up. Whatever sacrifice you think you have done wasn't worth much to me. I will tell you that. If I had the option, I would rather never have been born than go through this life that I did. That unfortunately I did. And that is the God's honest truth. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. I was mad at the time. Because she was bickering on the phone. But it is the truth. It is the truth told in a moment of anger, but it is the truth nonetheless. That is why I never apologized for that. It is the truth, man. I wasn't gonna say anything if she wasn't yapping on the phone. Because I know her intentions weren't bad. Raising me, she wasn't malicious. In her mind, she did what she could. She wasn't one of those neglective parents, right? In her mind, she did what is best for me. But it was never worth much to me. Something I never voiced out to her before, but always felt, 100%. Guys, like, if God showed me this timeline before I was born, I would like just send someone else. And I know it is kinda sad me saying these, but like, that is how I felt like always. And that is why I wouldn't bring children into this world, even if I had a woman lined up for that. I wouldn't want someone else feeling about me the way I feel about my parents. Cause like, you have two parents who thought they did the best they could, wanted you to have a life that they considered to be a good life. Not a good life, what they considered to be a good life. But when you don't live up to their expectations, they blame you. People don't become rich by studying mathematics. Oh, when I was your age, I was raising children. If I wasn't ugly, maybe I would have too. Have you considered that? What did you give me that you are asking these? Did you give me friends in high places? Did you give me looks with which I could sleep my way to the top? What did you give me? Oh, that kid you went to high school with is now working at a very big corporation. Cause he had looks and connections. He didn't grow up isolated. He was popular during high school. Or your childhood friend is getting married cause he's tall. Maybe if I wasn't a balding sub-5 manlet, maybe I would too. Have you considered that? These people don't understand that children's failures are also parents' failures. Children are not some independent entities. Like, it is funny how a lot of parents compare their children to the absolute best children who come from much better and richer families, but compare themselves to the absolute worst. Funny how that works, right? When it comes to me, the comparison point, the benchmark is those who go on to found companies. You know, Forbes 30 under 30. Oh, look at that child. He became a prime minister at age 25. But when it comes to them, the benchmark is somehow people that throw their children to the streets. Oh, there are children growing up on the streets who grow up going to bed hungry. Their benchmark is somehow absolutely the worst of the worst parents when you complain. If you ever dare to complain. And I know some of you have much worse parents than me. Some people in the comments are gonna be like, oh dude, Rehab, you're a piece of shit for saying that to your mom. My mom was a druggie. My dad used to put out cigarettes on me. Dude, like, it is all relative. I am aware, very well aware that a lot of yous come from much worse conditions, much worse families. Comments under this video are gonna be like, oh, what an ungrateful bastard. My family threw me into a pit of crocodiles when I was 7. That is how I lost my left arm. Rehab, bro, look at this. Oh, Rehab, what are you saying, bro? Look at this picture. You see, I am missing my left arm. You know why? My dad threw me into a pit of crocodiles when I was 7. Guys, I am aware that some of you come from much worse conditions, much worse families, but that doesn't mean I can't complain.
Oh, stop whining, stop complaining. Once you just grow a pair of balls and man up, you get the hell off my channel!
The abuse doesn't always have to be in physical or financial form. Like, some people in the community had really poor parents. I'm talking about financially. You know, they had to grow up hungry, wondering where the next meal was gonna come from, right? Some grew up in physically abusive families. I am hearing those stories from the community and I'm like, dude, is this family or enemy? But like, guys, just because you had a worse family than me doesn't mean I have to be happy with mine. For me, life has been a grind. A brutal grind at that. Brutal grind, bro. Oh, Rehab, where are the videos, you piece of shit? Because I have other stuff to do, man. Because my life is not easy. I am not doing this for a living. But what do I have to show for that grind? My life isn't something spectacular by any means, by any stretch of the imagination. Despite all that studying and working. Despite all that improving, you know. And that is the most brutal part. No matter how much you try, no matter what you do, even if you try to, you know, manage to do something on your own, lost time is never found again. You can't buy youth and enthusiasm about life with money acquired later in life. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't. I know it sounds cliche, and it is, maybe, but it is the truth. Life is about being that good-looking 18-year-old kid in that sneaker store. A life with endless opportunities. A life worth living. And the most tragic part in all this is, you can't make up for it. Lost time is never found again. But I will talk to you guys in the next one.